Mr. Gomez, I represent the state. And we have what I believe is enough evidence to put you away for 10 years.
No. Ernie's an innocent man, so he's not going away for any time. Ernie, did you do it?
Of course not.
There you go.
Really?
Really?
Ernie, do you remember waving at the surveillance cameras of all 3 liquor stores? We've got the videotape. Hi, Mom. It's me, Ernesto. Your client's going away for 10 years. Unless... We swap first-round picks.
Sidebar.
Let's... Well,
You can't take my number 1 pick.
you give me the number 1 pick. I'm going to give you my 6th pick in the draft, okay? And I'm going to give your client 7 years. I'm going to knock it down from 10 to 7.
For the number 1 pick, this man should be able to walk out the door today, go on a crime spree that would make Robert Blake come in his pants. And then he should be able to go home and have sex with your wife and then be given a parade in his honor.
He's kidding.
Shh. Respect the sidebar, sir. Thank you.
Welcome back to VoxPop Podcast, the weekly pseudo-academic roundtable of pop culture analysis with drinking and swearing. My name is Christopher Maverick, and I am here with the whole crew for the most exciting show of the year, my favorite thing, the box office show. Hey guys, how's it going?
I think that, like, if you say that this is the most exciting show of the year, like 1 week into the year, that doesn't bode well for our podcast.
I could just say that every week and just be like, this is the most exciting show of the year. Today we are talking about the fires in Australia.
Oh,
exciting.
no.
But there's so many baby kangaroos that have died. Why would you say that?
And koalas. And actually, like, it's so sad.
It is.
Yeah.
Can we link to the Australian Red Cross in the show notes in case anyone wants to help donate?
Absolutely.
Save humans, but also baby koalas.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes because that's a worthy cause. We can do good stuff with our mediocre fame. Yay!
I still can't believe people listen to this show.
I do. I think it's exciting. Well, obviously, this is not going to be quite as academic as some of our other ones because this is just fun. If you listened to the show last year,
Are you suggesting that our other episodes are not fun?
No, this is just fun. This is not an academic analysis kind of thing that we do most weeks. This is
academic analysis is super fun.
I think so.
Don't let them know.
But only fun. Just whatever. Anyway, if you listened to the show last year, we stole a game from our friends over the Protagonist Podcast where we each picked 15 movies in a draft. And then over the course of the year, as they were released, we each earned the money that they owned at the U.S. domestic box office times their Rotten Tomatoes score and ended up with a value. And I will release the how much, who won what in a moment, I'll say. But first, I would like to welcome back our draft commissioner, my wife, Stephanie. Hey, Steph.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Steph. Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
So, Steph, I made
Steph
you
get a draft hat?
Oh,
No, I didn't get that.
Do you want a draft hat?
We should get her a draft commissioner hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This seems like an official position that requires a hat.
Make drafting great again.
No. Support! No, don't do it!
Well, Steph will help us, like she did last year. Steph will help us with the ordering and settling disputes, of which there weren't really any.
I'm staying out of things. I'm just writing things down.
Okay, but before we begin, can I make a motion for something?
Sure.
I would like to make a motion that the film Cats was so horrible that whoever picked that should actually lose money.
Do we know who that is?
Did anyone pick it?
Yes, we know who it was.
We know who exactly
Name will
who
not
that
be
was.
revealed. Is that Mav?
Of course I picked Cats. And if you go back and listen to that show, I said it was going to be awful. I said it could make anywhere from $1 million to $1 billion. million because Taylor Swift was in it, but I knew it was going to be awful. I didn't know how awful it was going to be. I didn't know anything about the CGI of it at the time. I just know the story of cats because I'm a huge fan of cats since I was a very small child.
Aw.
And I know it has no plot. I know it is just a druggy fever dream about horny cats in heat that makes no sense whatsoever. And I was like, how do you make a movie out of that? I don't know.
The answer is you don't really, but I feel bad because Tom Hooper apparently also really loved it as a child and was like, editing this movie made me like remember my 10-year-old self. So I feel really bad actually making fun of him. But I mean,
this year we have Sonic the Hedgehog, so it could be just as freaky.
Yeah, I saw that trailer and because my thought was, Cats is a horrible musical. It's just mesmerizing, but it's not good. And again, I was like 7 when I watched it on TV. So
it's fun. It's not.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it is what it is. And I was like, how could you make this worse? And then that trailer dropped and it's like, oh dear. Oh, this is not something. So anyway. Last year's results. We have a winner.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and the winner is me. Yes.
Yeah, God help me.
Let's keep in mind that every single one of us besides you lost picks because release dates got moved, and you got all of your movies.
Yeah.
That's what. Well, that was,
and it doesn't change the fact that you picked cats.
Yeah.
I think you should automatically lose for picking cats, personally.
Why?
Wayne, you just need to agree with us, and we'll vote him out.
Really, Mav?
What? I'm sorry. Are you saying something's happening?
Yeah, that's not working as well as you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
And you know what?
Wow.
None of you picked the greatest movie of the year, which was Serenity.
You did.
I did, and I have no regrets because otherwise I would not have gone to go see it, and I would have missed out on a life-changing experience.
Well, so just if you're curious, I did do a little bit of analysis. I was curious as to ignoring the movies that were scratches. Neither Cats nor Serenity was the lowest performing film. I actually would have sworn one of them would be. But the lowest performing movie of the year was actually Under the Silver Lake by Katya.
Oh, yeah, that movie.
Which had a domestic box office of $46,000 and a 57% Rotten Tomato score for a total value added of $26,267.
Congratulations, Katya.
Yeah. And Wayne was close behind. You had the movie The Kid, which came out and had a domestic box office of $1,500,000 and a 45% modifier for $678,000 total. So those were the worst 2 picks. The best pick was some little independent film called Avengers.
Which was half of what I made.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
And also the most boring pick was Ad Astra, which should not have gotten any good critical reviews. And I don't know why people liked it. It's stupid and unoriginal and just full of the most boring man pain you could imagine.
Wayne, Avengers accounted for 51% of your total box office.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was literally more than half your money was from one film.
Thank you.
Wayne had some really smart picks. He had How to Train Your Dragon 3 and Us, which were also box office hits, but had good critical reviews.
Yeah. So this game obviously is just something that, is super fun for me because, I want it.
Yeah,
and which means I'm not going to win this year. I mean, it's, I would like to just be like, oh yeah, this is but what I love about this game is that anything can happen. We want to change the rules slightly this year. Hannah, you had a rule suggestion change?
Yes. Okay. this really would not have made a difference, but it would have made me feel better, because I think that giving a percentage to movies is stupid because it doesn't actually tell you anything. But if I have to go with a movie percentage, like getting a score for how good or bad it is, I would prefer Metacritic because it doesn't have the extremes like 94% Avengers Endgame or extreme lows like 23% Men in Black
really
International.
94%?
Yes, that's my point. Exactly. It's not life changing. I mean, like some things it doesn't make a difference. Like Rise of Skywalker's scores are basically like 50 something on both. But I want to get closer to what a movie actually is getting ratings for. Like if it's middling, bad, or good, instead of just like it got mostly positive reviews, even though it's a kind of trash movie, but it's getting positive reviews because everyone understands it's a trash movie and is excited about the trash being done in a particular way.
Right. So the question is, do we want the scores to represent something useful, or do we want the scores to, to be able to blow the game apart at a moment's notice because something just happens to get a 90?
I don't do enough research or have enough film knowledge to care either way.
Well, I mean, we can try this rule this year just to be different than Protagonist, and then we will see what happens.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I think so. Basically, I'm getting my way because no one cares.
And then when Hannah happens to pick all movies that have a much lower Metacritic score than Rotten Tomatoes score, and we all get higher ones, and she loses an extra $1 million this year. $1 billion or whatever.
I don't care because justice will be done.
Okay, so in the name of justice, this year we will be using the Metacritic score instead of the Rotten Tomatoes score. So say we all, or something.
Yeah. So for anyone who didn't listen last year, what are the rules of this game anyway?
Okay, so the rules are we will each pick 15 movies. We will pick them in a round robin style picking, which will be divided by a random order based on some cards that Stephanie has made, which she'll explain to us in a moment. When you pick a movie, it's off the board and nobody else can pick it. And then I keep a spreadsheet throughout the year. And we earn the North American box office modified by the percentage score it gets on Metacritic. And that is your final score for that movie. It has to be money earned in the calendar year of 2020. So you cannot, if you pick something that comes out in the last week of December, it doesn't count towards your total. So, for instance, Star Wars is still in theaters right now, but I'm not getting any of that money. I had to have everything that was earned by December 31st. Same thing here. It's got to be earned by December 31st, and it's got to be a movie that has its release date in the year. I guess it's wide release date. If somebody really wants to pick some movie that was in indie film last year, you could. Okay,
so if I wanted to pick The Hidden Life, even though it came out December 25th in LA and New York, I could do that if I wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's fair. Like there are a couple movies that like there every once in a while there'll be a movie where someone will drop the film in the last week, the last couple of weeks of the year, so as to be available for Oscar contention. But it will literally be in 3 theaters, and then it will go wide in January. It will go to 2,000 theaters. So yeah, I guess we can pick those. The technical release date movies. Fine by me.
For those of you who aren't movie buffs, I think that this will probably include The Hidden Life, or Just Mercy. Yeah, those are kind of like the things that came out.
I already wrote my list, so I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of those movies won't make any money, so it doesn't matter. All right. So now I'm going to turn it over to the host for the rest of this episode.
Master of ceremonies.
Yes, master of ceremonies for our game here. Stephanie, how do we figure out what the random numbers are?
Okay, so I have 4 pieces of paper, and I have each is labeled A, B, C, D, or one is labeled A, one is B, one is C, one is D. I turned them over, I randomized them, and then I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 randomly on the back of one of them, and I have these here, and Mav did not see what I was doing, so I guess the question is, who will be the first person to pick?
See,
maybe we should go from lowest box office
Yeah, that
score
sounds
from
fair.
this past year.
Okay, the lowest box office score was Katya.
Yeah, I want C.
C? Okay.
Did you pick C for Cat?
No, I just like the letter C more than A, B, or D.
Okay.
What number is she at?
Okay, Katya is number 3.
Is that what she was last year?
Sorry.
Yeah, but I picked C last
second
year, so.
was Hannah.
I want E.
Okay. And that is number 1.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's not going to be what you
You're
expect.
gonna pick
I assume.
Avengers, aren't you?
Hannah,
Yes.
if you screw me, I will stab you in the face.
Okay.
And if whoever number 2 is screws me, I will stab them in the face.
Second place, so third pick is Wayne.
I thought you didn't care.
Is left.
Yeah, give me A.
Okay. And that is number 2.
And
That leaves Matt with number 4. Okay, this will be interesting. Okay, let me just write these. I have a spreadsheet set up, so I don't.
Steph, also known as the organized one.
So, yep, Hannah, you are up first.
Okay, I would like Soul by Pixar, please. Like I said, not what anyone thought I would pick, probably.
I thought it was going to go second
No.
row. I have that on my list. I thought I had it a little later down.
For those of you
pick.
who don't know what it is, it's the newest movie by the guy who directed Inside Out.
Yes.
That asks existential questions and is about a middle school teacher who's a jazz musician. And I'm very, very excited about this movie. And I don't care if I win. I just wanted to pick this.
That's my strategy for every movie.
What?
Oh boy.
I feel like it basically took
It's a
the ideas
children's
of
movie.
Sylvan Tompkins' affect theory and put them into a movie, which is, I think, a little too much for what we're doing today. So I'm going to move on to
Yeah, nope. Too early on a Sunday morning.
I just love that Stephanie is a psychologist for our listeners who have not heard it before. And I love that that she essentially Neil deGrasse Tyson Inside Out.
Okay, see, that's why I didn't want to talk about this.
All right.
Okay, Tyson sucks. We
Wayne is
agree.
up now.
Okay,
Wayne.
I'm gonna go with Black Widow. It's not gonna be Avengers, but it'll make money.
Okay.
This is like really interesting. This is not how I thought this was going to go.
Me neither.
Okay, Katya.
I feel like everyone knows what my pick is, which I'm picking just because it's a Katya movie. I want Dune.
Ooh.
Which
Okay.
I think could go either way. Also, Oscar
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not.
I know. It's also like, I love Dune. Every sci-fi person I think loves Dune. I also, if anyone knows about Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary was made about the movie that was never actually made, but is somehow still really influential for sci-fi history. You should watch it. So I just
That documentary is
it's from
amazing.
a soul, man.
Yeah, that's an amazing
Seriously,
documentary.
go watch the Jodorowsky. Yeah, watch that documentary. It's great, and it's also like they basically make the case that it's the most influential movie never made, and I buy it.
Okay, Mav is up now.
Wow. Okay. So there was no way I thought I would get this film picking fourth. I'm going with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it was between that and Black Widow for me.
There was no
It was
way I thought
between
that was
Soul
going to
and
last.
Wonder Woman. But I really think that Soul has the potential to be big
I think
in an
Soul's going to
unexpected
make
way.
a lot of money. I just didn't think anybody would pick it in the first round, so I was going to pick it. I was going to pick it in the second.
And I think
You put so much strategy into this, Mav. I don't think about this that much.
In general, Marvel makes more money than DC, so that's what nudged me to Black Widow.
No, yeah, I don't think it's a bad pick. I just thought when you said number 4, I'm like, oh well, okay, I'll be scratching that off.
But Wonder Woman is actually the most anticipated movie of the year, according to Fandango, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But
I feel like I don't.
Anyway, Mav, you go again, I guess.
Yeah, it's mine again. See, this is harder. Like, I actually don't like the picking twice in a row thing as much, because I guess I pick Mulan.
All right.
No!
Yeah.
Is that the other movie you wanted to see, Katya?
Mulan.
Yeah, I guess I pick
Those are the
Mulan.
only other movie I wanted.
All right. Katya's up next.
Now we're just rage picking. I thought it was Wayne.
No, yeah, who's
We go,
yeah,
No,
we
it's
go
Katya.
backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because Wayne's second. Never mind. I don't have a brain. Well, now that I hate Mav for the rest of my life,
It
You
took you
get
this
Top
long.
Gun out of spite.
I mean, I hate him intermittently, I guess. I don't know, because I just have a list and I'm picking randomly at this point.
Just pick what speaks to you.
Yes.
I kind of want to pick Minions, not because I think it will actually be a good movie.
But it'll make money.
I think Minions
It's gonna make money.
It will make a lot of money.
I think Minions is going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
It made over $1 billion.
Right,
Like, really for one,
and
yeah.
I imagine the score will be like decent enough that it won't completely tank the earnings.
Yeah.
I'll go with Minions.
All right,
Also, I like whimsy.
that's very true.
Okay, Wayne is up.
Minions 2 stuff.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay on a pattern and go with Marvel's Eternals.
That was.
Yeah, I figured
See,
that.
that's what I thought I was going to get because I thought I'm picking 4th. I'm going to be stuck with Eternals, but fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, it's a. I mean, it's another Marvel movie. It's gonna do okay. It's unknown characters, but Guardians of the Galaxy pulled it out. So.
Mm-hmm. You want to know my big prediction? I think Eternals will do better than Black Widow for this game.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
We'll see.
Okay, Hannah's up for 2 picks.
Okay, I want Tenet, Christopher Nolan original film, and
Damn it.
I mean, I don't think that this will make as much money, but I want the other Pixar movie Onward, featuring Tom Holland and Chris Pratt as elf brother, to go on a quest because it delights me.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's going to be much better than the trailers make it look, which I think the trailers already hint that the new ones hint that it's going to be pretty good. And it's coming out in March, but Zootopia did really well in that March slot a couple years ago. So, and yes, I know that Zootopia is Disney, not Pixar, but it's better than most Pixar movies. So whatever.
Okay. Okay, Wayne, you're up.
Bill and Ted.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that would go a little later, too.
I thought about that one. I wasn't sure.
I think that's going to make a ton of money. I think that we're in the middle of a Keanu Sans. I think that like it is in the golden moment of
Nostalgia.
Keanu Reeves.
So they're coming back for it?
Yes.
Keanu,
Yes, there is a Bill and Ted 3, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Maybe like, see, now here's my question: is every, are all the Gen Xers just too old and dead now to enjoy this? But I think that's a movie that has crossover appeal because Keanu is eternal, and
okay,
and the other guy's old. He's very old.
Okay, Katya.
I'm doing research because now I'm stressed. I feel like also when I'm starting to like deal with this quantity of money, my brain just sort of like falls out of my ears, and I'm like, "What? These are numbers that exist." Actually, I want to pick. This is like a gut one rather than I think it will necessarily do super well. But The Invisible Man.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think.
Also, well, since we're talking about horror
H.G.
movies,
Wells, man.
can I point out that The Turning, based on the Henry James novel, The Turning of the Screws, coming out soon, and I never thought I'd see.
I actually might go see that, mainly because I wrote a dissertation chapter partially on that story.
Oh, that's cool.
Much to my disappointment.
Everything that involves dissertation writing is much to my disappointment at this point.
Well,
I'm just very stressed out.
Okay,
yep.
speaking
It's
of
a
that,
universal
Matt,
feeling.
you're up for 2.
I'm up for 2. Okay. So this is weird. Like last year, we were doing a lot of poaching from each other, and this year, that's happening a little less for me.
So what do you want, man?
Then you.
I'm going to pick.
Mulan.
I'm going to pick Free Guy.
Oh.
No.
What is that?
Free Guy is a movie where
It's a
Ryan
sci-fi
Reynolds.
movie.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is it takes place in a video game land. It is a world of adventure that is essentially the world of Grand Theft Auto and Quake and Halo, all video games. And he is a non-player character. He's not a villain. He's not a hero. He's just one of the random passerbys that like.
He's a bank teller who like his bank gets robbed all the time.
I believe, isn't Freeman the one that's based off of Grand Theft Auto 5 loosely?
I don't know if it's based off any of them in specific, but he's in there in the trailer. He very much could be in that world. He's just a random guy, and he decides to take control of the game.
I was hoping that no one else would pick this based on the knowledge that like people might not know this. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the highest grossing entertainment property of all time.
Yeah.
of any genre.
Yeah, it's ridiculously. I don't remember what their total is, but it's billions.
I don't think it was based on Grand Theft Auto, but it's certainly inspired by it, and I
believe it pulls from that very heavily. So I'm kind of assuming there's a lot of gamer people that I think will probably go see that.
I mean, it's also an original comedy property, so people want those things. All right, so I guess
because it would be nice to actually have new movies rather than continual remakes of things.
Okay,
right,
yeah. So go see.
Yep, your second pick.
Okay, I picked Top Gun Me.
Oh, wow, you held off for a while.
That was where it was on my list.
Okay.
All right.
Oops, I said Tom Gunn.
You're much more organized.
It essentially is Tom Gunn. Yes. I mean, here's the thing. It's not going to be good. It's not. But the first
People
one
will see it.
The first one wasn't good. It doesn't matter. It's Tom Cruise doing Tom Cruise stuff, and the first one was just kind of it was just kind of a goofy 80s vibe. This is going to be a goofy 80s vibe, and Tom Cruise of today is in it, so he's probably going to be flying around on the outside of the plane, and he's really going to do it. He'll do something
Apparently
crazy.
He hasn't died.
Tom Cruise is the new Jackie Chan, and that's how we go see movies. So Top Gun Maverick. That's my next pick.
Okay,
he has the gods of Xenon watching over him. So
yeah.
just since you did your Top Gun pick, I have a similar one. I'm going to do Fast and Furious 9.
Ooh, good pick.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
It'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have it'll get a Metacritic score of 50,
roughly 2.
Actually, maybe 60. Yeah. Well, they do the Fast and Furious movies do better than you'd think they would.
No, some of them have gotten insanely high scores.
Yeah,
I think part of it is if you judge it, it's like the way that I think that it's the ways we talk about this in a very different way, but kind of when we talk about the Star Wars thing. If you accept what Fast and Furious is and you judge it according to what they were trying to do, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Fast and Furious is the movie that it is, and everyone knows it except for Vin Diesel, who thinks that he's making high art. It's amazing. It's amazing. He submits them all for Best Picture.
Good for him.
He talks about when you see him interviewed, he's talking about the pathos of what we were trying to do in this scene. He has no idea.
It's nice for someone to believe that.
They're great. They're great.
Hey man, someone has to make high art for bros. Okay.
I love those movies. I am a huge fan. Now, my only worry about this one is allegedly this one's not going to have The Rock in it.
That could hurt it.
Yeah.
Okay, Wayne, you're up.
Well, speaking of high art for bros, No Time to Die.
New
Bond film.
But you know,
right, now we're getting to the point where we're poaching each other.
Now we're getting to the point where
yeah, and that's one of those things that either you're a fan of the franchise or you're not, but they always make money. They're still making them. So
though Spectre was so bad, I can't tell you a person I know who's actually finished it or liked it. Except maybe right here when someone says, "Oh, I did." But
no, that's not going to happen.
Nope. So anyway.
That's not happening.
Okay, Hannah, you have 2 now.
All right, I'm gonna go with The Rock and Jungle Cruise, which looks like Disney is trying to do The Mummy, but on a jungle cruise. And by The Mummy, I mean the Brendan Fraser comedy action, a little bit of horror, but not too much horror because it's kid friendly or whatever. And I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna pick Raya and the Last Dragon, which is the new Disney movie that's been announced for November, but we haven't gotten too much info about that. We just know that Awkwafina is in it.
Yeah, I believe that's the first one that's not on my list because I was I don't know anything.
But I'm just gonna take a risk and say Princess and Dragon.
Yeah, it's not a bad risk. It's
Princess and Dragon and Disney.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the risk. The risk is that Disney will move the release date.
Yeah, it could easily come out in 2023, right? Just as easily as 2020.
But I think Disney has gotten more careful about waiting to announce things when they actually mean them. And just because it's coming out in November, it doesn't make sense for them to like start trailers yet, because they're busy promoting their Pixar and Marvel Black Widow stuff. Like Eternals hasn't had any trailers come out either.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, you're probably fine. It's
Okay. All right, Wayne, you're up.
This is a terrible pick, but I'm doing it out of loyalty. It was a terrible pick last year. I'm going to do New Mutants.
wow. Okay.
what if it comes out to Hulu?
Are we slowly screwing up Mav's list?
I lost it
that
last
was
year.
way down on my list. But
It should
Okay.
be way down on mine as well. But it's just like I'm going to do it. I lost it last year. We're going for it again.
Steph was looking at me
Is this
incredulously.
X-Men or-
Yeah, because she was like, "What movie is this?"
Yeah.
It's the final X-Men movie produced before Disney. It was supposed to have come out 2 years ago, then was delayed till last year, and then Disney bought Fox, and they were like, "Oh no," and they kicked it like to this year. It's been re-edited allegedly.
It's a terrible pick, but I
Yeah. No,
All right, well, I'm ready for someone to
put an
pick Sonic the
asterisk by
Hedgehog
it.
now.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Notes.
my
I'm
fun,
not picking Sonic the
Katya's up.
Hedgehog, man. I want. My brain is telling me to do this, but Birds of Prey.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
Now we're even. You've stolen something from me. That's a good pick.
I'm actually. Can I just say that I watched the trailers and I was originally shocked that the male gaze was not the most prominent thing about it, and then I was like, oh, female director, I understand now.
Yeah, well, female director, I mean, Margot Robbie's producing it, so she's.
I'm also just interested in it because it's like a movie about Harlequin leaving the Joker.
Yes. Which again, if you go back to our good things you missed episode, there's a whole TV series that's about that right now on DC Universe, which is frankly not worth buying just for this show, but it is my favorite show on DC Universe is Harley Quinn TV show, which is basically that's the premise. It's she has left the Joker and she's trying to get over him and start her own life.
I would watch that.
Oh, you should.
And even though I wasn't into the Joker movie, it was enough of a media phenomenon that I'm just like, people will go see this.
I think that's a good pick, and it was.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
And I have to adjust because it was next. So, so good pick.
So now what you're going to do is pick Godzilla versus Kong.
No, I'm not going to do that because I'm a nice person. Here is where I'm getting a little iffy because this could go either way. I think on paper, and I think it's an excellent pick. I'm going with Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, okay.
Ghostbusters 4, 3. Yeah.
Just go with Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I'm going with the new Ghostbusters movie. That is my next pick.
Okay, here's my question real quick about that. Does Finn Wolfhard star in anything that's not a horror movie or a movie where strange things happen in a strange town?
No, he is the kid in that. He is the kid in the horror movie. That's his gimmick. He's gonna,
Stranger Things, The Turning, Ghostbusters, It chapters 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure there's something else.
Yeah, he's going to be. He's going to be 47 years old, and he's going to be playing. A ninth grader in these movies.
He has a young look,
like that
chubby face.
Yeah, well, they're digitally de-aging him now in order to continue.
Okay.
just for the one movie, he got taller and
very specific
and
typecasting
manlier between the two It movies, so they digitally de-aged him. But yeah, I think this is his thing. He's going to play the weird kid in the horror movie till the day he dies. He's gonna win a lifetime achievement Oscar at 85.
Wait. I'm sorry, Wayne. I forgot that this movie existed. He played not that in The Goldfinch.
Oh yes. Everybody forgot that movie existed.
Anyway,
speaking of last year's game,
yes.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah. You wouldn't have
that
seen it.
Does not ring any bells.
No.
Okay, Mav, your second pick.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna shuffle a little bit. Not pick what I was going to pick next because I think I've got space. And for some diversity on my list, I'm going with my first superhero pick. Oh no, I've got Wonder Woman, but I'm going with I think of that as just a massive money blockbuster. Picking Venom 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
movie that like I am not a fan of Venom. I thought the first movie was okay. It was interesting. It wasn't how I thought it would go, but it made a bunch of money. And, I think that of that franchise, Modula Spider-Man, it's the one that has potential to make money. So
I think I'm just not going to have superhero movies because I think that Venom 2 wasn't even on my list because I believe in it that little.
Yeah. Yeah. It could bomb.
Okay, Katya.
Okay. This could be a really bad pick because I don't think of sort of literary movies as doing well, even though as literature people, I feel like I should.
God damn it.
Emma.
Wait, what was it?
She took Emma.
Emma. Okay.
I'm okay with that. It was down the list.
I just think of like how like much people like the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice movie, like people love that, and I don't know. I feel like the Austen resurgence is like kind of calmed down, but
can I just say one thing about the trailer for this, Emma?
Sure.
It is
I have not actually seen it.
It is not a story. Like the trailer keeps saying that it's a classic story about love and all its surprises. Emma is not a story about love and all its surprises. Not at all. Love. It's not a movie about love. Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Oh no, I'm enjoying this.
We'll have that episode when it comes out.
Okay. All right, Wayne, you're up.
In the Heights.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's my non-genre pick for the.
Okay, fine. So here's the thing. I was in the Heights when I said I'm going to switch up my order and not and get a superhero movie.
That's the one.
That would be the one because I was like, I can wait around. I can wait around for In the Heights.
That was literally my next pick. I thought that no one else would care.
Yeah, I do not care, but I love this game and I wanted it.
Yeah, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda and it's
It was. I was like, and I was like, I can wait and I was just like, I can wait one more round. I can wait one more round and sneak it in there. This is Lin-Manuel Miranda going to trying to super EGOT himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, Hannah, you're up for 2.
Okay, I want. You know what? I'm changing my mind about some things. I want Kingsman 3, which is actually just the Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
And then I think
The Kingsman's an interesting pick.
yes. Well, all of my picks are what you might call interesting picks, to be fair.
That could make a bunch of money. People did not like that second movie.
No, I didn't go see the second movie, but this is set in a different period.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
And it looks good based on the trailers. But, anything can happen and trailers can dress up some real bad things. I think I'm going to go with Respect.
What'd you say? We missed
Respect. I want respect. That's not me asking for respect. So I guess you can give it to me.
Movie, Respect. Not the song.
That's for me asking for the
Aretha Franklin story.
Yes.
Yes. My note on that would have been 2 rounds from now for me. And my note on that is Respect. Aretha Franklin story. Give J Hud her second Oscar now.
Yeah.
I didn't write notes.
That's what this is.
Yes.
But I want it. I think
It's a good pick.
that it's going to be good. I mean, just like look at the cast. I'm just very excited about this movie. I think that this will be much better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
I think that's a super solid pick. I think that's really good.
Okay. All right, Wayne.
Bad Boys for Life.
Damn it. It's like nobody's gonna. That was gonna be. I wanted that, but it was gonna be real late.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, nobody's picking this movie.
I'm sort of at randomly picking things at this point. Like, oh yeah, there's an audience for that. Will Smith does well.
There's an audience. Look, there's an audience for like Underwater, but I don't know if anyone wants to pick Underwater.
Yeah,
that's the Kristen Stewart movie where they're fighting underwater monsters.
I really thought you were going to just say underwater fish sex movies, and
that's what I was thinking.
Because which was a really good movie, by the way. But
Okay, Katya.
Ooh. I feel like as we go through this episode, I was start making progressively kind of weirder noises. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this movie franchise. I hate everything that it is, but I also know that people go to see it. The Purge 5.
Oh, I didn't realize that another one was coming out.
Yeah, one's coming out. That was pretty low on my list. So here's the thing with Purge movies. Purge movies are all exactly the same, and yet,
absolutely.
And yet, I liked one of them and did not care for the others, and like they are extremely consistent on both Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. Like this movie is going to make $70 million. It is going to score a 55% on Metacritic. It's going to score a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't need to see it. I just know that because that's what they all do. So
I just don't think it's not a great pick. I'm just at this point, reaching the point of my list where you guys have taken everything that makes sense to me. And so we're just going through the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Josh asked me, by the way, if I was picking Peter Rabbit 2, which he views as a sequel to Star Wars, where General Hux survived and he's on an alternate universe hanging out with Peter Rabbit, and he's telling Peter Rabbit not to acquiesce to disorder. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what I actually planned to do.
I'm so confused.
The first one made an okay amount of money.
I never saw the first film because I'm not 10, which does not mean that you can't see it if you're not 10.
Prove that you're not 10. Seriously.
Anyway, the Peter Rabbit 2 is now playing, and at one point, Farmer McGregor, played by Donald Gleason, is like, "Be good, Peter," and Josh just keeps whispering to me during the trailer, "I will not acquiesce to disorder," which is something General Hux says. And anyway, he's come up with this complicated backstory about how Hux and Farmer McGregor are the same person. I was just telling this story, waiting for Wayne to get back to the bathroom. I need to be in the episode.
Now you ruined it by saying that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so Mav, you are up for 2. We're almost at the halfway point.
We're almost okay. So this is
pick number 28. You have 2 picks.
And I get 2 in a row.
Yes.
I am going to go with Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm.
And see, this is one that I have high on my list, and I've been passing it up a lot because I don't know how it's going to do. I'm picking the one and only Ivan.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. One and Only Ivan is a beloved children's book that I do not know, but that is getting a movie. And it's Disney producing it. It can't possibly be that bad, but Disney, the thing with Disney is there's some stuff that, is a guaranteed hit. Like, we joked last year, we knew Lion King wasn't going to be good. I just picked it early because I knew it was going to make all the money in the world. There was never, I was like, why does this movie exist? Don't care. We just, but every once in a while they make a Dumbo, so, or Maleficent, they have, Disney is printing money these days. So I'm going to go with One and Only Ivan.
Okay. Katya.
Yeah. Still stressed. Actually, I'm going to do, mainly as a former Chicago person, The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Ooh, not on my list. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
Do you know what it's about, or do you just mean the title?
No, so it's about I can pull up the Wikipedia.
It's about the trial of the Chicago 7
defendants charged by the federal government. But it's basically protesters that were charged with inciting public insurrection related to anti-Vietnam War protests in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Oh, and the writer is Aaron Sorkin of West Wing fame. So there's a certain group of people who are gonna like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, Wayne.
It might, critically might do well. I don't know.
No, I think that's a good pick, actually.
Yeah.
No idea.
I'm going to do, this is my second repick, Greyhound. And I'm giving the same reasons I gave for it last year. It's Tom Hanks. It's World War II.
Wow. Okay. I was wondering if you would grab that.
It's a certain misplaced loyalty.
I know. I think that this is actually a good repick. That one just got moved because scheduling, not because it was a bad film.
Yeah, that one that is a movie where they're where they're looking for awards recognition and they're looking for a good movie, and then they just decided Star Wars is going to eat us.
Yeah.
And they're just, I think it was Star Wars they were up against originally.
Well, they were originally scheduled for March or something. I think they just couldn't make that deadline.
But they were up. Yeah, they just like. I think that's a solid pick.
Yeah. I did last year, and just for whatever reason, I lost it. But, so
Okay, Hannah, you have 2.
Okay, I'm gonna pick something that is probably gonna seem weird to everybody else, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go with my first horror film, and I'm picking Antebellum.
Okay, that's not the one I thought you'd pick now, but I think it's a good pick.
I know what I should be picking. I'm picking what I want to see instead of what I think I should pick.
And now you have another pick, so you can pick what you should pick.
No, I'm not going to. Look, I relied too much on horror films last year, and that was a mistake. And I also gambled with It Chapter 2, thinking that it would be like critically acclaimed, and it was not.
Yeah, I knew that one because I've read the book. So,
but to be fair, he's like the director was like more interested in doing something like with like personal stories than like the book I think really is in a certain kind of way. It's just he didn't do it as well as he could have.
Yeah,
I maintain that It Chapter 2 does have some very solid parts to it. Like, I actually like how they changed the end of King's novel. And now the King fans will come after me with blowtorches. Not blowtorches.
No, pretty much every Stephen King fan knows that the latter half of it is unreadable. It's awful. Like, that's why everybody's like, oh, this is bad. And he was on way too much coke. Okay,
I'm going to pick something that I really want to love, and I don't know if I will, but I love Agatha Christie, so I'm picking Death on the Nile. And it has a good cast, and I hope that Kenneth Branagh has like learned from the mistakes of Orient on the Murder Express. But yeah, I'm really excited cautiously for this one.
Yeah, and also as an Agatha Christie fan, I'm more excited about this than I was Murder on the Orient Express because I don't remember who did it in this one, so but it's pretty well known.
I was intending to pick this eventually just for Steph because I know she's going to want to go see it. So I was like, oh, yes. Well, I can go to this and I can enjoy sitting there and like sort of hoping I hope this does well. I got money on this, but so that was one where I thought I thought was a good pick.
Okay, all right, Wayne, you're up.
Candyman. It has Jordan Peele involved with it.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
This is not how I thought the horror movie picking was going to go.
Me neither.
Also, Matt, you get so into this.
I did not see that coming. Okay.
Yeah, and I literally discovered that Jordan Peele was involved with a movie called Candyman about 5 minutes ago. So
okay.
It was on my list. It was just much lower.
Yeah, me too.
Now, Us treated me well last year. And
and it's a brand name. That was good. That was so Candyman was all the way. It was towards the end of my list. It was all the way going to be one of my. I'm going to try to sneak this in at the very end and make a ton of money in the last round. I was like, all right. Oh, wow.
Just like I did with Tyler Perry last year.
Yeah.
Okay, Katya.
I'm gonna go with West Side Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the reason why that I think is a risky pick is because it's coming out at
the
Christmas.
end of the year.
Yeah.
And like I said, after Emma, we've just got to the point where I'm just grasping at straws.
But like Steven Spielberg is doing it, so like
and it's his passion project. It's something that he says he's wanted to do forever. Mm-hmm. Like he fought to make this because everybody told him why would you want to make this movie? No one wants this movie, and he's like, no, I do enough blockbusters and everything. So he's been fighting to make West Side Story forever. He apparently has a take. I don't know.
I also am willing to bet that there are actually a lot of people that would totally be interested in seeing West Side Story.
I'm going to go see it. Yeah, like I love musicals.
That's like the idea that like that there's no audience for that seems not correct to me.
Also, like he can only go up after Ready Player One.
Ready Player One made a bunch of money though because it's gotten. I mean, it's got an audience of people who will go just to point at stuff. Right? That's a very much a pointy movie. And West Side Story is like theater nerds.
And Rita Moreno's
and also, I think
pretty awesome.
And apparently, they're going to do all the original show tunes.
Right. I
think it will be especially appealing to the theater nerds over the original.
Yep.
Or the original movie, rather.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mav.
Then you can do sing along time.
Okay. So, given everything that Hannah said earlier about horror movies,
I know what you're going to do.
yeah, you probably do. This cannot be good. Okay, I wish you guys, anybody listening, I want you to understand that I am fully aware of what I am doing here, and I don't want to. I just assumed it would be gone by now, and it's the next thing in my list.
I just have to say that I thought the first one was incredibly stupid and ridiculous, and yet it still got good reviews and made a shit ton of money.
Right. So I'm taking A Quiet Place too.
Yep.
And
Okay.
This movie doesn't. A Quiet Place is not a movie that needs a sequel.
There's a movie that needed to be a thing.
It didn't.
Good. I mean, I'm not a horror movie person, right? But like, given what horror movies are, it is. I understand why the first one did well. There's nowhere to go with it.
I think that they are more, based on what John Krasinski has said, it sounds like he's more interested in exploring how people live in a dystopian world where you can't make sound than anything else. But but he just did it so terribly last time, because my sister was like, you have to like let it go, Hannah. You just have to accept that there's inconsistencies and enjoy the movie. But you know what? They're making loud noises all the time, and so I can't let it go. I just can't do it.
I don't know. It's the kind of movie where I feel like it's going to make a bunch of money opening weekend, and then people are going to be done with it. So I don't know. I'm taking A Quiet Place too. That's what I'm taking. And then now I'm going to get weird, and I'm taking Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that one.
That's interesting.
There's a big fan base. Yep.
This is a show that, this is a show that I do not watch.
And the question is, will it translate to the cinema?
I don't know, because I've literally seen 5 minutes of the television show in my lifetime. So I was
thinking about that. I've watched like a fair amount of Bob's Burgers. I think the movie's going to be terrible, but I definitely think, like what Wayne said, there's a fan base. There are people that will go see it.
Okay, good, because
I can't imagine how that would translate well to a feature length film. I just can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Katya.
What round are we on, Steph?
We are, pick number 38, whatever round that is.
Okay.
I'm about to pick my 10th one, I think.
That sounds correct.
I have to pick this one mainly just because my mom, I know, really loves these movies. But The Conjuring, the devil made me do it.
Oh, okay. Is that okay? So that was to me, that was just another. I figured I have several movies on my list where I was just like, oh, these are horror movies. One of them's The Conjuring. I'm not sure which one. and I didn't know what they were. Okay, so is that the one that's actually part of The Conjuring? Okay. Yeah,
it's so like The Conjuring series is based off of like two actual ghost hunters like life stories or whatever. So yeah, the one that is called The Conjuring is actually part of The Conjuring series.
Okay, I didn't actually see the title The Conjuring in it. I just saw it as The Devil Made Me Do It. Okay, got it. All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Wayne.
Scoob.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That was next on my list.
The Scooby-Doo thing, and he's got at this point 50 years of history. People keep going to see Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just trying to decide between Scoob and Bob's Burgers, and I went with Bob's Burgers, but I don't know that I picked it correctly. So.
Okay,
Hannah, you have to.
Okay, I'm gonna also turn toward my childhood and pick The Witches.
Oh, okay.
Which features Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer. My sister and I love that book. So, Mary, this is for you. I blame you if it goes wrong. That
also means that you owe her a drink if it goes right.
I mean,
that's how that works.
Sure. Then it's getting kind of tricky now.
Yeah.
I don't know. What?
Now you've entered the Katya mode of picking these things, where it's just weird noises.
Okay, let me check one thing, because I had made up my mind and I worked on this list because I am weird, and now I'm trying to decide if I made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to pick something that no one else probably was going to pick. But I'm going to pick a romantic comedy called The Lovebirds.
Oh, that was not the one I was
interesting.
Okay.
And it is about a couple who's about to break up, but then they get involved in a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, they're trying to figure out if they're, I'm just like literally reading the tag here. Can their relationship survive the night? Can they survive the night?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like romantic comedies. I like murder mysteries. This sounds kind of like Game Night with Rachel McAdams from a few years ago, and I really love that. So here we are. At this
we
point,
like that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah, at this point, I think that like we have picked all of the major, like definitely is going to do at least somewhat well critically and commercially. Now it's just swinging for the fences as if we want to go for money, or if we want to go for critical acclaim, or if we want to play Moneyball and hit both.
You're throwing in the towel earlier than I am. I got some good picks coming.
No, I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm saying I think my picks are going to be riskier and odder, but I think they could pay off.
Okay. Yeah, I've been picking shit at random since like round 3. So.
Hey, speaking of that, Wayne, you're up.
Also, how has no one picked Sock the Hedgehog yet? Okay, anyway.
Bios. It's Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I think that's a good movie. I think Tom Hanks doing a
Castaway in a post-apocalyptic landscape.
A sci-fi epic. Sure. I think that's a great pick.
Interesting. Okay, Katya.
I know I'm going to hate myself for doing this, but I also have to do it because I have to. Godzilla versus Kong.
I think it's a better pick than we might be giving it credit for.
I think so too. I think that people are going to. I think that it's going to get like a Metacritic score of like 45%, 40%. But I think people are just gonna morbid curiosity. They're like, well,
the people I know,
I want to see them fight.
The people I know who are into kaiju are just wetting their pants over this idea.
Yeah. It's mainly like all the new Godzilla movies just lack for me the charm of the original because like I want to see the strings attached. Yeah. I want to see like the weird puppetry and like kind of crappy special effects. I miss that, man.
I think it's a solid pick.
Okay. All right, Matt.
Apparently you can go see it in IMAX though.
Oh, it's me. Yep. It's me. Oh, all right. Okay. I don't think this is as risky as like it probably should be. I'm going with the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, no, it'll make some money.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I won't pick it out of some sort of thought that I'm above SpongeBob, but
yeah, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's going to see it personally, but I don't.
They're out there.
They gotta be out there.
Like, dude, it's a kid. It's like a kids movie, but kids don't really watch SpongeBob anymore, do they?
Apparently, they do. I don't.
I feel like that was like it's not like a semi-classic cartoon.
Yeah, but I know children who are into SpongeBob, but I don't know. But they're children who don't have money.
I think like a millennial cartoon.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. And then my next one. I'm going with the movie, and see, this is what I thought, where I thought I was going to be stealing one from Wayne. I'm going, I typically last year I avoided stuff that came out in January, but not this year. This year, I'm taking 1917.
Okay, that is a movie that was not on my list because it's already been out, but I guess it fits into one of those limited release things. It
was in limited release. It's I think it's out in like 2 theaters. That like. I don't know. I think it's in the weird thing where they're like, we're trying. This completely relies on us getting the Oscar, right? Like that's their pitch. They're like, we're going to put this movie out. It's going to be critically acclaimed. And if we win Best Picture, then everybody will go see this. And if not, then we just wasted $30 million.
Okay, Katya, you're up.
We return to stress mode. I don't think this is going to be a good movie. I will not personally go see it, but Doolittle.
I think it's going to be fine. I think that's a good pick. I think especially this late in the game, that's a really good pick.
I think especially I'm like thinking it like this is a movie that like parents will take their kids to kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's like a
it won't
Kid
be
Who Would
so
Be King thing.
Sorry?
A Kid Who Would Be King. It's like the kids movie that came out in January last year and actually surprisingly did well with critics and at the box office. We were wrong to snub it.
And also like, not that anyone who's a really big Avengers person is going to go see Robert Downey Jr. hanging out with the animals, but it could happen.
I mean, like, little kids might do it, and parents might agree to suffer along.
Because they'll be like, this is Iron Man, and Iron Man is now gone, so
yeah,
we need to, we need to have some sort of cathartic experience.
Oh.
It's one of those things where I think it's a good pick because it's exactly that. It's the Iron Man thing. I think that I don't know that it's going to be good, but I think it's a movie that Robert Downey Jr. really wanted to do.
Oh, good.
And so he's gonna promote it. And if this is how he wants to spend the goodwill of the MCU, I guess that's his choice. So
Okay, Wayne, you're up.
This is a bad choice. Fantasy Island.
is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw the trailer last night. I don't know.
Yeah. That's. I don't know. I mean, the trailer looks interesting. It does not look like what I think of when I think Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I'm doing it purely for Hervé.
But yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think you have to be very old in order to still have nostalgia for Fantasy Island. I am very old, and when I see that trailer,
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, that is the thing, and I was like, that's not what I thought Fantasy Island would be.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in it, and I like the reason it was on my list was because I was just like, it's the kind of thing that you could show Katya, and she'd be like, that's a really interesting premise.
Oh.
I might want to go see that movie without knowing that there was an original Fantasy Island.
Yeah, right.
The original, for our listeners, the original Fantasy Island. Wayne, give us the premise of the original Fantasy Island.
The original Fantasy Island was you had a
Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban is a very classy, apparently rich man who owned an island, and he had a dwarf by the name of Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Who followed him
Hervé
around.
Villachez.
And basically, if you were very wealthy, you could pay him to vacation on his island and request the fantasy of your choice, and he would make it come true.
With magic.
With magic. But by the end of the episode, your fantasy usually taught you valuable life lessons about what a fuck up you were.
Right. Well, it's just it was just like the grass was always greener.
Your fantasy was never what you expected it to be.
Right. Because your fantasy is literally always, I want to be rich, or I want to have sex with a girl from high school. Yeah. And it's always like and the moral of the story is, the love was in you all along, or that is every Fantasy Island.
And it's possible Ricardo might be Satan.
Yeah, but an angel.
It's
very much it was a movie with a following. It was an anthology series, so like since you only had the only regulars were Hervé and Ricardo, and so you could get a star of the late 70s, early 80s to be on for 1 week.
It was like Love Boat in that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So now they're remaking this as a horror movie.
That's my choice. Yeah, as a horror movie. which makes some sense.
Yeah,
given the original.
It looks horrific and interesting.
Yeah.
Question mark?
It's a pick on a whim.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks interesting to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Hannah, you have to.
Okay. And I'm trying to just decide if I want to pick things I don't want to go see, I think might make some money, or if I want to just stick to what I like. I think I will pick a comedy that may or may not do well, called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Really? Okay. See, now we're at stuff where I'm like, oh, nobody's even gonna hear of this movie, so I'm totally taking that. Good job.
I think that it's from, as the trailer says, from the people who brought you Bridesmaids, and Bridesmaids was really great. And we need more comedies about female friendship. So you can never have too many. And I think it's not going to make the most money, but I want a reason to go see it. And I really like Kerry Russell and Jesse Plemons. So I'm going to pick the Del Toro produced horror movie Antlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm going to do this. And Josh is going to be irritated because he doesn't want to go see it. But there we are.
I mean, I'll go see it with you.
Thank you.
I like Del Toro stuff.
Okay, Wayne, you're up.
Coming to America.
Coming to America too. Guess what was next on my list?
I was actually thinking about that one too. It was on my list.
I don't know. Is Peter Rabbit 2 on your list?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's having a moment, but the movie's coming out a year from now, so the moment may be over.
That's why it wasn't higher up, because I was like, I was like, I'm going to see this movie no matter what. But I was just like, people might have forgotten him again by the end of the year.
Okay, we're down to the last 10 picks, and Katya, you're next.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to check something really quickly. Did somebody already take Peter Rabbit?
No. I just told that long story about it.
I'm gonna get Peter Rabbit because I like bunnies. I don't know.
Okay.
Good rationale.
The first one did okay, money wise.
Yeah, it's not great.
It
The
did
Metacritic views were.
It could have been worse, though. Like, the reviews could have been worse. Like, truly, they could have been worse.
I mean, I feel like at this point, all the movies I'm picking anyway are just sort of like, I mean, I've been making that noise since pick 7, so at least.
Okay, Matt, you have 2.
Okay, here's where we get prestige.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, this is one that I like. I'm picking because I didn't think that I want to make sure I get this, and I was like, it's getting towards the end, and I don't have many picks left because I have to make some decisions now. I'm gonna go with Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's new film.
Okay.
This is gonna have massive ratings, and maybe people will remember Baby Driver, and it will make $1 billion. Or maybe people will go, who is Edgar Wright? and it's going to make $40. It's going to be an awesome movie. It can't be bad.
Baby Driver was really good.
Yeah, this cannot be bad. He is a phenomenal director, but it could easily make $40 at the box office. Like, easily.
Well, the issue is it's being produced by Focus Features, which doesn't always have wide releases in their films. But it does have Matt Smith in it.
Yeah. And so, and now staying in the kind of prestige-y, kind of iffy mode, I guess I'm going with, and I don't know, it's not super prestige-y because it's a franchise, but like it's a thing where is anybody going to remember or know what this is? I'm taking Many Saints of Newark. And you could hear the crickets as none of you know what that is.
No.
The Many Saints of Newark is a prequel to The Sopranos.
Oh,
starring James Gandolfini's son as yeah. So Many Saints of Newark.
Okay.
Okay, Katya.
The Call of the Wild?
Wow.
That's
good pick.
I don't know if that's a good pick, but I do think that Harrison Ford's going to act the hell out of that.
Yeah.
I feel like people who like Harrison Ford movies might go see it, but it's
and for people who miss the Han Solo Chewbacca dynamic.
Look, as someone who's read Call of the Wild, who's watched the trailer and has seen every Harrison Ford movie pretty much, including The Secret Life of Pets 2, I'm probably not going to go see it, even with my AMCA list.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to go see it.
I can't get over the bad CGI.
It's also another thing that, like, I think, like, first of all, I don't think there's a giant fan base of Jack London fans. Second of all, I don't think most Jack London fans that do exist are going to be like, ooh, I want to go see this movie. But I think it will do, like, middling okay.
I would also highly suspect that if you don't like the end of The Call of the Wild, go see this movie and you'll get a new ending.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I imagine most Jack
That's my
London
guess.
fans just live in a cabin somewhere in Alaska and don't have the internet or TV or go to movies.
Possibly. Okay, Wayne, you're up.
I just got a sign from the gods of the internet. I'm scrolling through Facebook and someone posted a picture of the first appearance of the Marvel character Morbius. So that means I have to pick that.
Damn it. Okay.
I was debating. I wanted
Was that
to ignore
going to be your last pick, Matt?
That was going to be my last pick. I was like, nobody's taking this.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
I wasn't going to, and then the internet spoke to me.
I mean, it's going to be real bad.
Yeah.
Also, a movie featuring Matt Smith.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just know it's going to star Jared Leto, who does...
He's perfect casting for this, but I don't know that that's a good thing. But no,
so here's the thing. Morbius is not... What's the word I'm looking for? Good? Like, there's nothing appealing about the concept of Morbius.
So he got shredded, but it's a cartoon.
What?
I'm looking at this Looper YouTube video. So there's like this picture of Jared Leto and I guess Morbius, and Jared Leto's like super shredded, and apparently he got shredded for this movie.
Yeah, it's not a cartoon. No, yeah, it's a new superhero movie starring Spider-Man villain and sometimes ally Morbius. So it's gonna be live action.
Oh, it's live action.
Yeah, it's Morbius, the living vampire.
Yeah, and there's the comics precedent for that is in the early 70s, thanks to the comics code, you couldn't have undead characters. They wanted a vampire, so he's not really a vampire. He was changed into a blood-sucking freak by chemicals, so he's a living vampire, not the undead, to get around the comics code.
And so every time they refer to him, they always refer to up until from the 70s up until late 90s, early 2000s. Whenever they talked about Morbius, they would always specify Morbius, the living vampire.
Yeah. Because it's a B, not a T or something.
Yeah, on my Facebook scroll right now, someone just posted the cover of the first appearance, so I took it as a sign from the internet.
Well, let's see that sign.
And y'all know the internet is now gone.
Yeah, this is not going to be a good movie.
No,
Just so everybody knows.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
will not.
Hannah, you have 2 now.
Okay,
And
these are
your
my last two.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to have to go with books from my childhood. Firstly, it's not going to make a lot of money, but I'm going to want to go see it. And I'm very excited about it and interested to see what they do with it. The Personal History of David Copperfield, which, of course, is based on the novel by Charles Dickens. And and also, features Dev Patel in the lead role. Also, Gwendolyn Christie is in it, as is many other, British people who you
I
know.
thought you were going with.
What?
Not what I thought you were going with your.
What did you think I was going with?
When you were talking about, I thought you were going to pick Artemis Fowl.
Oh, that is my second pick.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be any good. I don't know if it's going to make any money. I think Disney realized what a risk it was last year, and that's why they moved it to this year.
Sorry, what is this movie?
Artemis Fowl.
Artemis Fowl.
I guess I'm just sticking with Kenneth Branagh. I don't know. I read these when I was in middle school.
And they sold a lot of books to people your age.
Sold a lot of books. Josh entered the contest to be an extra in the movie. He's still waiting on the results.
In the Artemis Fowl movie? Wait a second.
Yeah.
The movie's done.
Yeah, they ran a contest because this movie was announced originally. I'm not kidding when I say almost I think 20 years ago. And then it just was in development hell for all of my teen years, college, grad school, and now it's finally coming out in May, and it features Judi Dench as Commander Root, and it will be interesting to see what happens. Artemis Fowl, read when I was 11-ish. Personal History of David Copperfield, first Dickens novel besides A Christmas Carol. I found it super funny, began my obsession with Dickens, and now I'm here. So,
Okay. All right.
Perhaps
Nice
not.
way to end.
Perhaps not the biggest pick, but it's personal to me. So,
Okay, Wayne, you have your final pick.
My final pick is yet another bad genre comic book superhero kind of pick. I'm going with Snake Eyes.
Okay, well, you're making my decisions easier.
I took your last 2 picks.
Yeah. Well, because I was looking.
Mav, there's still the Trolls movie.
Yeah, that's that. So I'm down to literally the end of my. I'm like, which of these movies that are super iffy that do I want? And one, I don't think anybody's gonna pick. But then the others were like, oh, G.I. Joe, this is gonna be bad, but people will go see it.
G.I. Joe fans love Snake Eyes.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be fair to Wayne and because it's unclear, but he's calling it he's calling it the Snake Eyes movie.
Yeah.
At one point there was a Snake Eyes movie and a G.I. Joe 3 in co-development as separate pictures. To the best of my knowledge, now they are one movie called G.I. Joe 3 and not called Snake Eyes. So
okay.
I think that we should, if the movie comes out and it's called I can't remember what they're calling it, but I think it was going to be it's called G.I. Joe 3, Aftermath or something. I don't know, something like that. If the movie comes out and it's called G.I. Joe 3 and not called Snake Eyes, I think we should still give it to him.
Yeah, because it's the same movie.
Mm-hmm. We were gonna do that with things like the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood thing. It wasn't Evil Day in the Neighborhood wasn't titled whenever I picked it. So
right, and I think that, but I think that the movie that's coming out right now, I don't think it's going to end up being called Snake Eyes. I think it's going to be called G.I. Joe 3. Maybe it will be G.I. Joe 3 Snake Eyes, but
my pick is whatever variation on G.I. Joe and or Snake Eyes comes out.
Now October. So you could get pushed.
Right.
Okay, Katya, your last pick.
Similar but different to Hannah. I'm going to pick something based off of, in this case, dissertation crap. I have to pick The Turning, even though I am not a Henry James fan. Turn of the Screws in my dissertation. Mm-hmm. I have to.
That could happen. That could be a movie that happens. I mean, it's going to come out. I think. But I mean, like that's one of the ones that could just totally blow up.
It also stars Finn Wolfhard as a creepy child.
Yes. I'm telling he's doing a thing. Like he's found his niche.
Now. Yep.
He's
cashing in now.
Yeah, he's found his niche. He's going for it.
I'm not trying to make fun of Finn Wolfhard. I genuinely enjoy most of the things he's been in. He does a good job. It's just I realized this pattern recently.
It's an obvious niche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, Mav's final
okay.
Maybe.
See, this is weird because like all the ones that like I thought were like I was like, okay, I'm totally going to be able to sleep and just get G.I. Joe 3. like that was like my thing. Like no one wants this, right? So now I've got a last shot and I've got like my 4th tier movies, all of which are on basically the same level. And like, so I think
this is an instinct call.
Yeah. Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I'm not
taking
it. That's like a tier 5 movie. I don't think Sonic's gonna have. I think Sonic is gonna be abysmal. I think it's gonna make a bunch of money the first weekend just from people with morbid curiosity. But how good could it possibly be at this point? Yeah, no, and not like
I
a
think
whole
at this
bunch
point
of
the memes, like the ad revenue, like the AdSense from the memes, it probably will make more money.
Yeah,
you could always pick something random like The Gentleman.
That's lower down. I mean, and if, I was thinking, I mean, I got The Way Back, which I think looks like
you've
something
really just got a list.
Yeah, I've got a list of 100 things.
I did not put this much effort into this.
Now, here's something weird. Like, say, because Wayne, when you were picking your total random like comic book thing, I thought you were going to go with Bloodshot, Vin Diesel's movie of the comic book character, Bloodshot.
I thought about it.
He thinks is going to be huge. No one's going to go see this movie. Yeah. It's going down.
Because there are people who have heard of Morbius and there are people who have heard of Bloodshot. Morbius has more cachet.
Right. Yeah. Bloodshot
but
is not.
Vin Diesel is much more palpable than Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and there is that,
Bodyguard 2 is not going to make any money. So now I'm thinking about like My Spy, which is, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see the one that I want to see.
There you go.
I don't think it's the one that's going to make the most money.
So
but
Trolls.
I am picking. No. And that was another one where I was like, how did nobody pick Trolls already? I'm picking Wendy. I'm picking the movie Wendy.
Okay.
It's Peter Pan from Wendy's point of view.
Wendy, not Wendy.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. It is. I think that this is going to be, something where people are like, hey, that's an interesting idea. It is upcoming fantasy drama film written and directed by, I can't pronounce that name, Bean Zeitlin. A young girl is kidnapped and taken away from her home to an island where mysterious pollen has disrupted the cycles of age and time. The film follows a friendship, love story adventure as she and a joyless, reckless, pleasure-mongering young boy swirl in and out of youth and as the ecosystem around them spirals towards destruction. Fox Searchlight Pictures.
It's not going to be in every theater.
I no, it's not. But Disney wants something to happen with Fox. It's not. I mean, what was they going to do? Pick Bloodshot? You
could have picked. Actually, the movie I'm surprised no one picked is Like a Boss. With Rose Byrne and Tiffany Haddish, and I don't know if it'll. I think it might be kind of like Good Boys.
No, it looks so cringy.
I felt the same way.
Cringy.
I felt the same way, but I also felt the same way about Good Boys, and it turned out that Good Boys was actually good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
There were a few. When I thought everybody was going to pick like all. This is a weird list year because. Like there's no end game to like kind of like base things around. So there was a lot of stuff where there wasn't as much crossover early on as I thought there would be. It was all towards the end. So I was thinking I might end up eventually picking, just so it's on tape. I was considering picking I Still Believe. I Still Believe is a Christian biodrama.
Ooh.
And, it's going like these movies, like all Christian biodramas have like a Metacritic score of 40%, like literally exactly 40%, because basically like there are things that like only a very specific crowd goes to see. It's very much a, feel good about this thing. They don't make a lot of money. But this is one where it's gonna make $35-40 million, not a lot of money. It's gonna have like a 40% movie on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's gonna have a little bump because it's a Christian biodrama. starring KJ Apa, who is Archie from Riverdale, the best show on television. So I was like, yeah, that could happen.
I think that bump is you. I think that is you. That is just you.
Yeah, I don't. All right, that's our list. I think. I'm
excited. I'm happy with my list. I will go see every single one of these movies, unlike last year where I did not go see The Aftermath and I had to drag myself to go see Ad Astra.
I mean, I will not be seeing most of these that I picked.
Yeah, same here.
Half of them I would go see. I don't know that I would necessarily make it a priority. There's I mentioned before the show started that there were only 2 movies that I was actually actively interested in seeing, and that is Dune and Mulan.
Okay, that's what I thought.
There you go, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I just didn't want to be. Mulan was
my favorite as a kid because it was like a Disney princess with a sword. So clearly the best Disney princess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So here was the one. So I was surprised. I thought somebody would go with Sonic eventually, and the one that I thought somebody would go with, and that I was thinking about was Saw. Saw is being rebooted this year with.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, so did The Grudge, and no one wants The Grudge. It got an F on Cinema Score, which means no one will go see it next weekend.
No one will see it. Well, but Saw is being rebooted by Chris Rock. And I just feel like I don't like the Saw movies, but the fact that it's
I hated those movies
from director Chris Rock, and part of me just goes, yeah, comedian Chris Rock is going to be in charge of the Saw franchise now. He says he has a take on it that he thinks is it's not a comedy. He just wants to do it, and I'm just going.
Okay.
I mean, Jordan Peele does stuff, and he's a comedian. I don't know. I'm real curious. But the thing is, I don't know that I'm, $15 curious, and movies are free for me because I also have a pass. So I don't know. Hannah's happy with her list. I'm happy with mine. What about you two?
Yeah.
My only regret
I have no frame of reference to know whether I'm happy or not.
I wanted.
I think the one that sticks out to me that I might have done a different choice is The Purge, but I don't know. I think part of my problem is I don't go see movies enough, so I don't really know the culture of people who go and see movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
so I'm going to make a suggestion
for
the blog. I'm going to make a suggestion for the blog page is list all of our movies for us because I certainly forgot what I picked last year.
Yeah, I have an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, and that allows other people to see our pick as well.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I wrote all mine down too.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've resolved nothing.
We'll know what we've resolved.
Resolved it in 2021.
Yeah. Well, we resolved 2019.
I did. I did
so
win
for
this
once
year.
We actually resolved something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did we really resolve it?
I'm the best movie picker ever.
No, did we really resolve it? If you picked
I'm going to
Cats?
smack you through this microphone.
Hannah,
did we really resolve you winning if you picked Cats? I mean,
you picked Cats.
I picked
truly
Cats
nothing is resolved.
I picked. Go back and listen to the tape. I picked Cats because I had faith in my other 14 picks.
that's
fine.
That's fine, but you still picked it.
You still displayed poor ass judgment.
Sometimes we make decisions for content for the show.
It just means we can't call you the best movie picker because you picked the worst movie of all time.
I knew that. I knew I was picking the worst movie of all time.
No, you didn't.
Listen.
You did not know it was going to be the worst movie of all time.
I know.
I will have to listen to this.
Right.
Yeah.
I always want to record every conversation with Mav, so now it's there. I can actually do that.
I said this is going to be awful, but Taylor Swift's in it, and her fans will go see her read the phone book. I was wrong about that. They did not go see her.
No.
Okay.
I think a lot of T-Swift fans were looking at the trailer and looking at her like, "What the fuck? Drugs were you on when you signed this contract?"
What have you done? Yeah.
All right. So, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We will.
Happy New Year.
We will be here next week.
We're going to ritually sacrifice Mav to the movie selecting gods, as is the prize.
Stephanie, do you have anything to plug?
Oh, you caught me off guard. I wasn't. I'll hold off. It'll be very exciting when I finally do plug something.
Katya.
As always, you can follow me on Instagram at justthatnerdkid. I would also like to point out that I am now Instagram famous. A person actually stopped me in a fabric store and asked me if that was my handle, and I was like, yes, it is. And now I feel very awkward.
You should go on like a Joann's Fabrics world tour, like where they just like sponsor you to like just show up in different cities and like.
Nope. I used to work for Joann's. Nope.
And now they won't be a sponsor. Okay. Palindrome Hannah.
You can follow me on Twitter at Hanley Rogers. And if you want to read about Jane Austen in the new year, you can read my article, Philosophy in Austen's Pump Room, How Enlightened Tolerance Became Discussed in 18th Century Fiction's newest issue. I'm just going to plug that forever.
Awesome. Which I actually mean. That's actually sincere for the show. And Palindrome Wayne.
I once again have nothing.
You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Maverick or on my blog at www.chrismaverick.com. You can follow the show on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, all those places at VoxPopcast, or on the show's blog at www.voxpopcast.com, where we post what the next show is going to be. You can comment on the current show and read show notes, and you can give us ideas about what you'd like to hear us talk about. If you enjoy this show, or even if you don't enjoy this show, but you enjoy what we normally do from week to week, we appreciated it if you'd subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify or wherever the hell you get podcasts from. And it would help us if you do us a favor and leave us a 5-star review, especially on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or whatever they call it. And that helps other people find the show. And it's a new year, and we could use some new reviews. If you do, we will give you a shout out on the air. We will thank you profusely. And, we would appreciate that. And I would like to thank Maximilian of Thoughtform Music for our epic theme song, building ever so more epically and playing us out. I would like to thank Stephanie for being our draft commissioner once again.
Okay, no problem. It was fun.
Thanks, Steph.
I'd like to thank you at home for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
It's all art. That's just a trash can.
It's just a trash can. Yeah.